What's going on, Aces? Welcome back to the channel. So recently, the music titan Quincy Jones has passed away at 91 years old, and he was such an amazing producer, writer, musician, and his legacy, not only in the music world but also in Hollywood, has been forever cemented in so many people's lives, from Will Smith to Tamia. So many celebrities were sharing their love and their support for the Jones family, lifting them up in prayer, but just, you know, showing and saying what a titan Quincy Jones is. When you think of Quincy Jones, you think of everybody from him working with the absolute musical geniuses like Michael Jackson, Frank Sinatra. The list goes on and on. So I'm going to read this article from Billboard because so many people, LL Cool J, Elton John, and more, they remember Quincy Jones saying music would not be music without you. That's beautiful. It says, as news broke of Quincy Jones's death at 91 on Monday, tributes began to pour in to honor the musician who Clive Davis once called the ultimate music renaissance man. And he truly was. I think that's such a good summary of his work and his art. It's beautiful. Among those paying tribute to the 28-time Grammy winner were LL Cool J, David Guerra, I don't know who that is, and Victoria Monet. It says, quote, "You are a father and an example at a time where I truly needed a father and an example, a mentor, a role model, a king. You gave me opportunities and shared wisdom. Music would not be music without you." And that's what LL Cool J wrote on his Instagram alongside of a photo of Jones holding numerous Grammy Awards. He says, "My condolences to the entire family. I love you. Rest in the sweetest music eternally. R.I.P. Quincy Jones, one of one." Elton John also paid his respects with a photo of the two men together at one of Elton John's foundation's Oscar viewing parties on Instagram. He says, "Nobody had a career as incredible as Quincy Jones. He played with the best and he produced the best. What a guy, loved him. Always a loyal supporter of this important fundraiser." Mariah Carey remembered him with a photo of those two together. On her Instagram post, she said, "A legend, a titan, a mentor. You've given the world and me so many life-defining moments that will forever be cherished. Rest in power, Sir Quincy Jones." Justin Timberlake wrote a long remembrance on Instagram of the icon alongside of a series of photos of the two men together. He says, "I find myself with a heavy heart today. We lost someone so special, but I also consider myself fortunate to be here and to experience his essence, his dedication, and his mastery. There were so many bits of guidance he gave me along the way that I will take with me forever." Victoria Monet, she began her tweet with heartbroken emojis. And she says, "To one of my biggest inspirations, Quincy, I love you so much. Your legacy will live on forever and ever. Heaven definitely got an upgrade with you." That's beautiful. I mean, Quincy meant so much to so many people. And Lenny Kravitz, he tweets that, he says, "I'm speechless in this moment. What this man means to me goes extremely deep. What a life. What an expression of authenticity. What a teacher." He says, "I am humbled that I was given the gift of your openness and friendship. I'm still processing. My deepest condolences and respects to the Jones family." And I think that that's beautiful, that Quincy and his music transcends so many genres of music. He produced the whimsical music from Austin Powers. If you guys remember that intro where Austin Powers actually comes on stage or comes off the stage when he's dancing with his background dancers and gives, pays homage in the movie to Quincy Jones. And of course, we can't forget Thriller. Michael Jackson and Quincy, I mean, they made decades of music together. And one of one of the things I remember him for the most was his interview. I think it was with GQ, and he was just talking about how he thought that he spoke truthfully about what he thought about like the Beatles and their musicianship or possibly the lack thereof. He talked about just the shenanigans with a lot of the actors that he worked with in the past, um, about the things that he knew about the music industry, the dark side of the music industry. Um, he was such a real one. Like he was so open and he earned that. One thing I love about speaking with elders while they're still here is they have earned, in my opinion, the right to speak so freely and open and honest. I don't know if because he knew that he was approaching his own mortality. Of course, once we get older and wiser, we realize that our days are short. That old adage of, the days are long, but the years are short. Life is but a vapor. And Quincy really made the most of his time while he was here, and living up to 91 years old is truly a blessing. And he brought us so many musical geniuses, right? Tevin Campbell, of course, Shaka Khan, Tamia, right? Tamia's tribute is really lovely. And in my opinion, she is one of the most underrated singers of all time. Her voice is gorgeous. She says, one day I was headed to a meeting with Quincy Jones at Jet Magazine. Little did I know that I would end up on the cover with him. I love that, right? Like he is a leader that would bring people up with him. That was beautiful. She says, upstairs in the meeting, he started talking about my music and how much he believed in me. And I could feel my eyes well up. Here I was standing beside the greatest, the Quincy Jones, and he was telling everyone about my music. Afterwards, someone said, let's head downstairs for a photo. My eyes still watery, overwhelmed by the moment and the weight of his support. There were so many memories I cherished with Quincy. I traveled the world with him, and he believed in me. He said, others believed, because he said that, others believed in me too. He always told me, sing from your heart, and that advice has stayed with me ever since. 30 years later, I look back so grateful for those moments and all that he made possible. For a girl from Canada, being seen by someone who worked with the best in the world was huge. Here was this legend who had done it all, genuinely caring about my work, my project, my dreams. I owe so much to him, and I'm so proud of all we created together. Quincy, you put a move on my heart, and I will never forget it. You guys remember her, one of the songs I love, but Quincy is in the video with her producing You Put a Move on My Heart. It's gorgeous. I remember the story that Will Smith told too about how Fresh Prince of Bel-Air actually even came into be. If you guys remember, him being the Fresh Prince, he became a millionaire at 18, and he said that he was essentially, financially illiterate. He was a teenager still, and he was just blowing his money as most, kids would if he didn't have that type of economic savvy and upbringing. He came from a working class family in Philly. And so he was just, like giving money away and buying, clothes and shoes and, just liabilities, basically just blowing through it. So he was almost bankrupt after becoming a millionaire at 18. And he said essentially, Quincy Jones saved him. They went to a party at Quincy's house where he was telling Will about the TV show they wanted to create. And he was the first rapper. You guys remember him and DJ Jazzy Jeff were the first rappers ever win a Grammy for Parents Just Don't Understand. But they boycotted it because it wasn't being televised because it was a rap album. So during this time, they were at Quincy's house in Beverly Hills, or It was either Beverly Hills or Bel Air, I think one of those. And he told Will, to go out and essentially, help him pitch the show. And Will was scared because all of these, huge network executives were there. And he was like, I need more time. I don't have anything to just, come up with on the spot. And Quincy's like, okay, well, if I give you 2 weeks, then we're going to call the offices of so and so in there, that network executive, and they're going to be busy, or they're going to reschedule. And then by the time they reschedule, the next one will be busy. He's like, but all of them are here right now in this house, right here, right now. This is the moment that you have. It's make or break. And Will said, he went out there, did the best he could, pitched the show, and Quincy asked their advice right then and there. He got there and, he got them to essentially sign Will in the contracts right there at the party. Like, Quincy was not only a musical genius and an innovator, but he was also someone who got things done. And that's amazing. He said, that the syndication money from the TV show essentially saved him financially, and it catapulted his career, right? Because Will then went on to become this, huge movie star and was known for summer blockbusters. And um, yeah, that was because of Quincy Jones. So rest in peace, Quincy. You have made your mark on so many people's lives, Hollywood, the music industry, a worldwide icon. May you rest in peace. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I will talk with you in the next one. Take care, Aces. Bye.